Hey guys, it's me Rax here. So today I'm going to be releasing my settings. I'm going to show you my Minecraft settings, my OBS settings, and my Premiere Pro render settings.
I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy.
The first thing you notice is that I have my FOV set at 83. I like 83. I used to play on 80, but I just realized it's a little bit too narrow and 83 feels about right. Keep in mind this is with dynamic FOV off. Now we're on video settings. So I have my graphics set as fancy. Now this is not important. You could leave them as fast. Next I have smooth lighting on maximum and smooth lighting level on 100%. I keep my GUI scale as large, but this is up to personal preference. My brightness is always bright. Dynamic lights are off. For shaders, I don't use any shaders when I'm recording a normal video. However, for the intros, I use Silder's Vibrant Shaders Extreme. On the Details tab, I keep clouds off. I keep trees on smart so that only the leaves closer to you render in with transparency. Make sure you keep sky off to remove that black patch in the void. Sun and moon always off. Fog off. Translucent blocks on default. Dropped items on fast. This comes down to personal preference. I like the vignette, but you could also leave it on fast, which basically removes it. Swamp colors off, always, that's important. It just looks ugly. Clouds are off, rain and snow are off, stars are on, this is very important. I leave show capes on. Fog start, this doesn't really matter, I keep it at 0.8. Held item tooltips are on, entity shadows are on, alternate blocks are on, and smooth biomes are on. I'm not going to go into my animations tab because it is completely default and I have changed nothing. I keep my render distance in between 12 and 16. My frame rate is either set to VSync, 240, or unlimited, depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes when I'm recording, unlimited. View bobbing is always off. Use VBOs is on. This greatly improves FPS. I have alternate blocks on. Dynamic FOV off as always. Much better playing experience. Under the quality tab, I have map levels at 3. I have anisotropic filtering turned off. Clear water off. Better grass off. Custom fonts on. This isn't that important, but my pack has a custom font. It looks kind of nice. Connected textures are on fancy. Custom sky is on. This is important. Custom entity models is on. Emissive textures is on. Map type is set on its nearest. Anti-aliasing is off. This greatly improves FPS. Random entities is on, better snow is off, custom colors on, this makes the game look a little bit nicer with certain packs, natural textures off, custom items are on, and custom GUIs are also on. Under the performance tab, I have smooth FPS off, this is important, leave smooth FPS off. I have fast render off, but this is a personal preference thing, you can turn it on if you want, it just makes the game look a little different. Chunk updates is on 1, render regions is on, smart animations is on, smooth world is off, fast math is on, dynamic updates are on, and lazy chunk loading is off. These don't matter as much. Adjust these to whatever gives you the most FPS. The only one of these that greatly affects how your game looks is fast render. Now that we're finished with Minecraft settings, let's start looking at my OBS settings. First, we'll go to the output tab and then recording. Type is set to standard, the recording path is wherever you want to record to. Make sure your recording format is MP4. It's also very important that you use the NVIDIA NVENC H.264 encoder if you want to record in higher than 60 FPS. Make sure you don't rescale your output. For bitrate, I use CQP. There are other options such as constant bitrate and variable bitrate and lossless. However, lossless is basically useless unless you plan on making terabyte large files. My CQ level is set as 19. My keyframe interval is set as 0. I keep my preset on max performance with profile high. Look ahead and psychovisual tuning are both off. GPU is set to 0 and max B frames are set to 0. My CQ level varies between 18 and 21 depending on what I'm recording, how long I plan to be recording for, and what frame rate I'm recording in. So to record in higher than 60 FPS, what you're going to have to do is go to the video tab. Under where it says common FPS values, you're going to click the down arrow and switch it to fractional FPS value. Then you'll make sure you set the denominator to 1 and the numerator to whatever frame rate you wish to record in. Okay, so now that we're done with my OBS settings, let's move on to my render settings. So for editing and exporting, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Export in Premiere, you go to File, and then Export, and then Media. Okay, so now we have the export window open. Make sure your format is set as H.264. What you're going to want to do is go to Basic Video Settings. Uncheck the box here so that you can edit the values. I set the height to 1440 so that I export in 1440p. For frame rate, leave that at 60. Make sure you tick render at maximum depth. Skip the encoding settings for now. Scroll down till you hit bitrate settings and switch it to VBR2 pass. I usually set the target bitrate at around 20 with the upper bound at around 25. This next step is the most important step to making your 240 FPS recording look super smooth and rendered in 60 FPS. Under where it says time interpolation, you want to click this drop down and make sure frame blending is selected. Frame blending is what creates the smooth motion blur effect that makes recording in 240 so good. Once you're done with all the settings, click export, wait for a little bit, and you are good to go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful to anybody who had questions about my settings and how I make my videos look as nice as they are. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll make sure to answer them as soon as possible, and I check on my videos quite often, so I'm sure I'll see it. Make sure if you haven't already, you subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go, this is my quest, I'ma make it.